Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. The Sun Tantra, the 10 heavenly organs, the anatomy of the solar system. My opening statement has always been, whenever in doubt, I watch cosmos. Why? I see an omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, perfect divine design of nature there. An amazing 10 suns of the spiral galaxy, and also 10 heavenly bodies in the solar system. And I do say that human beings as such are the microcosmic representation of macrocosmic universe, particularly the spiral galaxy. And same thing I see in Tattvamasi, which I am going to explain to you as we move on. First statement, Pindandam Brahmandam Ekam. That means human beings and the universe are identical. First picture of human being with the 10 chakras, then heavenly bodies with 10, solar system with 10, and spiral galaxy with 10 sun. The 10 10 10 shows there is something identical which we should recognize as a mathematical design so that we can make optimum use of the human body to be perfectly in tune with the universal consciousness. Now come to the question, one of the greatest occult mantra I have seen is Tat Tvamasi. Tat means divine energy, Tvam means everything, Asi is identical. It is from Chandogya Upanishad. It does not mean I am like God, Aham Brahmasmi. It makes no sense because many people show it as Tattvamasi, I am like a God, or Aham Brahmasmi. I don't see. But I do see it means the divine nature, and every perfect object of the universe is identical. This ingrained beautifully inside. And my experience concepts are very different. So I do know if everything is identical, human beings are microcosmic representative macrocosmic universe. As a result, there should be divine mathematics. And the divine mathematics is this search for myself, and that is what I am seeing in different examples in different parts of the universe, including different parts of the human body itself. Now, the divine mathematics. Mother of arts is mathematics. Mother of sciences is mathematics. Divine mathematics can resolve everything in the universe because everything is designed according to divine mathematics only. I am not prepared to accept that anything and everything in the universe works beautifully, mathematically, arithmetically with Divyank alone and nothing else as such. Every aspect of math, physics, chemistry, biology, medical sciences, astronomy, astrology, and A to Z can be explained only with divine mathematics, particularly they center around Divyank alone. And I am talking about the core. Periphery is extension of that there could be little variation, but the core is perfect. Now the impeccable wisdom which I am talking about. Tantra means the functional anatomy. Tan is a body, Tantra is Shastra. The Shastra, the knowledge of the human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, psychology, etc. is Tantra Vidya only. And that's why Tantra Vidya represents chakra, planet, wisdom completely. What I see within the human body as 10, solar system and 10 heavenly bodies and 10 this, and higher consciousness is almost identical in the core, in which this structure and function as such. Both functional anatomy is identical. Let's view the science of the heavenly organs, which are 10 in number. Let us start from Mooladhara Chakra and Mother Earth and understand how different planets and different chakras and different heavenly bodies and different suns of the solar system or spiral galaxy are interconnected. And unless until we see the uniformity in every function, we will have a confusion whatsoever. We need to remove all the misconceptions, misinformation which give confusion in the mind. The impeccable wisdom should be without any fault, and that is what is required. Now I am going to explain from Mooladhara Chakra right up to Akhand Chakra, step by step, and association with different 10 heavenly bodies of the solar system. Now comes to the Moola Chakra. Tantra Vidya says is very clear. Sat Chakra Nirupana says there are 4 petals. I do agree there are 4 petals, and they are associated with the 4 sacral coccyx bones which are fused together as one, and also I have shown that these are 2 Ida and Pingala nadis which go up, and 2 sympathetic system going to the legs, the 4 part, and there is a lower center on the whole, and it is associated with Mother Earth, and it is represent only the matter which is 38.1966%, and the symbol is square symbol only. And I have already explained this square is 4-sided with 180, and this representation of Muladhara Chakra with 4 petals with Mother Earth as such, once that is understood, when you concentrate on Muladhara Chakra, you are grounded on the earth, you can sleep very well, you can rest very well, conserve energy and do things beautifully. Some effect of parasympathetic system is more prominent when your Kundalini, your Aditi or Antaratma is associated only with Muladhara Chakra, right with the Mother Earth, and you are in tune and you can comfortably go to the delta state of the consciousness is one thing very, very clear there. So having explained A to Z of Muladhara Chakras, all the concepts one by one with Earth as the first step in the universal consciousness of the solar system consciousness. Now they come to question of second is Swadhisthana Chakra. It has got 6 petals. First Muladhara got 4, this is 6. This is again Divyank ratio. That is a solid element, this is a water element. And this is 61.8034%, that is 38.1966%. That combination is with 100%. 61% square root is 100 times the value of the first. This is also I have already explained. Having done that, you understand the next planet or heavenly body which comes to the solar system to my mind with which Vishuddhi Swadhisthana Chakra is only Venus, and its structure is crescent, which is water. That was solid, this is water, and you can see in the picture very clear at design B, and also the Venus as such you can see. So the concentration is Earth, Venus are the lower planets as such closest to the Sun. Now come to the third stage is a Navi Chakra that has 10 petals. 4 plus 6 and equivalent to 10 is 1, and associated with Mercury, which is the closest to the Sun, and it's a fire element. First is solid, second is water, third is Agni or fire, and the structure is rectangle. You can see the rectangle very clearly in that, and you can also see 10 petals. Energy coming from down and going down, you can see both the it can go up, it can come down. That's the representation which I have given in Navi Chakra. Navi Chakra has a fire to make sure that come what may, we will be perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise and happy. And once you understand that, that means you have understood the beauty of Navi Chakra. Anyone who is very strong in Navi Chakra, it will be difficult for anybody to kill him with bleeding stage at all. Even out of 5 liters, he loses 1 liter, will be recovered very well. He will get up automatically on that because sympathetic system is strong. And also to recover water, sodium, potassium, glucose, etc. is all well taken by this. And that's why the Mercury is very close to the Sun and is a fire element, and that gives you the power of the Sun to make you as perfect as you want. It's the closest to the Sun. Now there comes the question of the fourth one, which Manipura Chakra, which Sat Chakra does not talk about it. But here I make it very clear. Sat Chakra Nirupana talks of Muladhara Chakra, Swadhisthana and Navi. Manipura does not talk, but Manipura is associated with the 6 segments of thoracic vertebrate, and there are 12 nerves. So it's very clear. And it is associated with moon. It is not the planet. That's what and it represents the light sun going very well. As a result, if the sun is a fire, moon is a fire, so is the Mercury is a fire. So triangle you can see in this particular very clearly. You can see the triangle going up, triangle coming down, and that is what it is all about. And it is with moon which reflects the light, and whole process of Amavasya to Purnima, Purnima to Amavasya for 29.52 days is very clearly associated with this, and that is what has made me understand that female menstrual cycle is a 29.5 days, not 26 and more. If once you understand that concept very clearly, and you can move on very well to the next stage of understanding of the consciousness of the universal by and large. Now comes the question of the fifth one is Anahata Chakra. It's got 12 petals like Manipura Chakra, and this is talked about by Satchakra Nirupana very clearly. And I do know it is associated with the sun, fire, and the triangle. Again you can see the same picture right here, and same thing you can see in the sun down, which is sunflower with the rays coming up, sun rays, and that is what is all about. And if you see in that particular thing is also done 12 thing, that is also with Surya Namaskar. So I am trying to show everything one together in this to show how precise, concise is the knowledge of Satchakra Nirupana of the Tantra and Akhand Sutra of Shibhushan Sharma, and also the modern science as such in neuroanatomy, neurophysiology, neuropsychology and psychology put together as one part. So sun is the sun, and that is source of light. Everything comes from that, everything goes back, and that also represents the shunya as well as one as such. And once that is understood, I think, and we can know very well how important is the human body, how important is the solar system, how important is spiral galaxy. Now next question comes to Vishuddhi Chakra has 16 petals. Now 4, 6, 10 and 16 is again Divyank. 4 plus 6 equal to 10. 6 plus 10 is 16. I think this is very clear. Leave sun alone, leave Manipura alone. But you see a divine mathematics very clearly here after this. Now this Vishuddhi Chakra is associated with Mars. There are 4 big planets which are inner thing, and fifth one is a moon. These 5 things put together within Sun to Mars is the association very clearly of the solid elements. Here it is the air element, Vayu element, solid Bhumi, earth, water, Agni, now Vayu or air element, and the structure in this is elliptical or hexagonal shape. You can see very clearly the 6-sided structure, and it is associated with Mars as such. And these are the inner planets. They have a tremendous amount of influence on the life on the earth, and these are the things by and large 4 of them, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, had 97% carbon dioxide to start. Fortunately Earth, on which we live because of the sun, the 97% carbon dioxide is converted to 21% oxygen. Once you understand that, I think you are very clear how you are going to move on to the next stage step by step to understand very clearly. See here, ellipse you call it, at a hexagonal is very clear. 4, 6, 10, 16 in the process, and you come to Vishuddhi Chakra. These are the inner chakras right up to the stage you can understand concept very clearly. Now come to the next stage is Ajna Chakra, which is between the eyes. Sat Chakra Nirupana talks of it, but it gives you only 2 petals as you can see in this picture. But fortunately I put it as a 21, and I call asteroid belt to be the one which is represented, this which many people may not have. If you think of Navagraha, this is Ketu and Earth is Rahu, and that way you see 9 concepts very clearly coming up very clearly within that as such. Now this is with the air, it's starting moving up, and its elliptical structure or the hexagonal structure in the form. Once this is understood, then you know very well that is the space between the solid planets underneath, like Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars and the Moon, and then space which separates both, and this is a sectarian part. You don't have a solid element as such, but the body is a smaller parts, as Ketu's body is all about. Once that is understood, you know Ajna chakra or Gyan chakra, and it has got 28 petals. It is associated with anterior and posterior pituitary and the brain stem, and there are 28 centers, a nuclear, a center thing which produce hormones which are stimulating in nature. Once that is understood, I think very clearly you can move on to higher level in consciousness by and large, and I am showing how you evolve in Kundalini or Antaratma or Aditi, awakening, ascension, step by step. More and more higher you go, more and more intelligent you become, more and more intuitive you become. You come to the stage of being the universal consciousness as you move up higher and higher, step by step. Now come to the question, next chakra, Vigyan chakra, which Satchakra Tarpana does not talk about it. Manipura it does not talk about, Vigyan it doesn't talk about it, and it has got 52 patterns just like Sanskrit, and it is a Jupiter, is again an hexagonal shape, as you can see very clearly, triangle, this particular thing, and this is a symbol which I made in 1997, changed the whole concept. From 97 till today I am listening only to my Antaratma, Aditi you call it, Kundalini you call it, Holy Spirit you call it by any name. There is a pure consciousness which comes from Sun within me, and my conversation with that starts only with this, and then move on to become a better person in divine energy step by step. And that intelligence, that is Vigyan, that is science comes. Till such time it is only Gyan or Agyan, but Vigyan starts from this and you live on to the higher levels of consciousness thereafter. That's why Jupiter is very important as a knowledgeable thing, and this is also 7 planets, or you call Navagraha, or the 10 heavenly bodies, all fall into same place with a uniformity. That is what I am talking about. Now come to the Pragyan chakra, is the next chakra with a 96 lotus petals, and you must be wondering, why did I put 96 lotus petals? It's very clear. The distance of Saturn, which is associated with Pragyan chakra, which is air element, other thing, distance from the core of the Sun to the core of Saturn is 1440 million kilometers. If 1440 million kilometers divided by 15 million kilometers, the number you get is 96 only. And one more thing which I would like people to understand, Pragyan chakra, the Saturn goes around the Sun for 30 years, and that is what makes the subject very, very clear. For that matter, Akhand Sutra, Akhand Foundation was conceived on Vijayadashmi of 1995, and it is Vijayadashmi of 2025, 30 years later we have come to the same stage, and we are moving into much higher levels of understanding, which you are going to see in a functional part from this day after tomorrow. Once again consider, but of course the process is already started, and once this is understood, you know where the next stage of things is coming up. Now you see 7, you can 9 things within that, and then you see Saturn, and 96. I think very clear that we are moving on to the higher consciousness much better step by step. Having come to Saturn level, let me make one more statement. According to Shastras, astrology, people on the living on the earth are influenced only up to Saturn, not beyond that. Sun affects, Mercury affects, Venus affects, Earth affects, so does the Mars, so does the Jupiter, so does the Saturn. Beyond that, no effect, because people cannot go. But let me make one thing clear. Is a person who is in tune with universal consciousness, he can go to higher and higher level, right up to pole star, and still benefit all the knowledge which is there. Now it is a human being who can do it. Planets cannot do it. Now this is where man or human being become much more powerful, because the thinking process is beyond any limit, no seema. Now come to the question. The next chakra is Akhand chakra, which I am talking about. It is 192, and I put it with unison in quintessence, and it's a pentagon shape which I have given for the first time in the structure. Earth is square, which should have been round. Akash is square, circle. This is square. Then crescent, water. Then Agni. Then Vayu, which is hexagonal. And pentagon was never given, and I brought it, and in this you can see 10 pentagons inside, and that is the Akhand chakra integrated, and the lotus petals are only 192, and the distance from sun to the planet which can influence is 192 multiplied by 15. Once you understand that, then you know very well what is the structure of solar system, how the distances are, core to core distances are well established and well proven, and there is no misconception understanding, and that is what impeccable wisdom I am talking about. So everything which modern science has done has made my understanding of Satchakra Nirupana or Tantra Vidya or the Veda Upanishads much more clearly, because they speak the same language. The modern science subtle knowledge has helped me to understand Veda Upanishad wisdom much better than I would have been able to understand otherwise. Having been a scientifically trained maths, physics, chemistry, biology, medical sciences from childhood, very conscientious to find the perfection, I've been able to see the wisdom much more clearly, and that is what I want to share for the world. This is the knowledge which is required, and once you know, now you must be wondering, I have shown very few slides, but I am talking quite a lot, and quite a lot is not from any prompting. It is the information which is there within my brain. So you literally become a walking talking encyclopedia, and walking talking encyclopedia will be in tune with the universal consciousness. You don't have to remember. It is said Veds were seen, are recognized, revealed, composed, and by the Brahmins who remembered it very well because they had experienced it. Similarly, I am saying it ex tempo. Any time without any help I can do it, because that is sequence. You know, once you experience, his brain records it beautifully, and you can see the sequence very clearly in a new mathematical design, new symbolic language, which is 1,000 times better than any language in the world, including Sanskrit. And once you come, and that is what I want to say, you talk for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, 16 hours, any amount of time I can talk on the concept without repeating it, because you experience that only when you have the impeccable wisdom, not otherwise. I think that makes the understanding very, very clearly. Having explained this part, let's move on to the next stage. Now I am bringing Sahasrara Chakra into picture. Sahasrara Chakra was spoken about Sat Chakra as 1,000 petals, but I say it is 1024 lotus petals. Why do I say? Because you start from 0, then 1, then 2, then 4, then 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, and 1024 is the stage. These are 11 stages of evolution from 0 to this stage as a binary, which is the scientific concept, and that is it is. Person could have IQ of 1024 provided the person knows all the 64 arts and sciences completely with impeccable wisdom without anything. But Sahasrara Chakra has been explained as beyond the solar system. Now you can see the Divyank design there. Outer is the orbit of 22 by 21, then you have 10, then you have 5 as such. Once this picture is understood, you know what is there in solar system completely. And fortunately, Chandogya Upanishad says the solar system can be measured with 21 parts, and that 21 parts, maybe Earth is 7 part, Antariksh is 7 part, and heaven 7, agree. But on the whole, when you go to the much higher levels of understanding, as you move up to the higher levels of consciousness, step by step, one by one, you come to the stage, to the 27 level, where there is Satchit Anand, there is consciousness, where is moksha, everything. But it's beyond the solar system, and that distance from the core of the sun to that distance could be 1024 into by 15. It's almost like more than 15,000 kilometers, million kilometers the distance in which you reach, and then only you move on to the spiral galaxy from there. This is the moksha for human being as they are living on the earth as such. Going beyond also can be done, which I have shown one by one. Having done that, I think you are very clear that this particular video tells you how you become a walking talking encyclopedia, how each and every information is there, and you make a sense in a very comprehensive way, step by step, and show the links one by one. And I want people to use this as a knowledge, because unless until all the knowledge of the entire universe from mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, medical sciences is a part of your experience, part of the cognition, you have become a perfect, only then you become a perfect, otherwise you are not a perfect human being at all. And that is what is there in I3 Upanishad as a Lokpalan, the guardian. Guardian, one who is perfectly designed, that is what Rigved is talking about. Once you come to that stage, then you become the perfect human being. You know the impeccable wisdom, you know the divine mathematics, you know the divine symbols, you know everything A to Z. Only then you become a Lokpalan, the guardian, custodian of the world, and I would say that is only perfect human being. And that perfect human beings were there who wrote Veds and Upanishads, and I am trying to do that. Now I want everybody to know this so that every human being with this knowledge can reach that perfect. Earlier people had to experience it by themselves. Now I am giving with a proper theoretical knowledge the concept, you can experience it based on this information which was not there. Now from day after tomorrow you are going to see from zero once again, and step by step. Once that is done, that should be the knowledge for every student in the world, from school, college, university, all the research, all the publication. Once comes that, I think we are very clear to move on, to bring uniform knowledge to every student and make everybody as an equal part. No divisions on religion, no divisions on territory, this at all. And whole objective of Akhand Vidyashram is only to bring the wisdom which is uniform for everybody, free of cost, without anything. You can use YouTube channel, you can think other things, and you don't need to spend lakhs and crores of rupees to get education in the universities and schools and colleges. Otherwise, this is free for everybody, because I want the uniform peace in the world with the knowledge alone. Everything else other than impeccable wisdom is dividing the world, and only education can give it, and that is enlightenment, that is empowerment, that is objective. From day after tomorrow you are going to see things much more clearly. I think enough for the day. And now last stage, I am not going to talk about it. I think enough for today. You are going to see much more specific. Already my videos and other things all clear. Now sequence will create from day after tomorrow, from zero with origin, and how it will move down from higher to the 9 levels and then 10 levels, and further step by step you are going to see it. That could be the videos for the entire world, for everything, without even single defect anywhere. Let's enjoy. Wait. Thank you very much.